The power of the web. The internet can help you to live your dreams and to design the perfect lifestyle that will make you truly happy. Whether you have a small business that you want to turn into a big business, or whether you want to make money writing a blog on a topic you love, internet marketing can do that for you. As an internet marketer, you can make a truly passive income. That means earning a living by writing an amazing website once or creating a product once and then letting the income roll in forevermore. You can even do this as an affiliate marketer by selling someone else's product. As an internet marketer, you can earn a little money on the side, writing articles for other people. The only problem, most people have no idea where to begin with this. When I tell a lot of people that I make money online, the response is often to look at me perplexed. What do you sell? Well, nothing. Where does the money come from? I actually had to promise my grandma that what I was doing wasn't in any way illegal, because she found it so hard to understand that I can make money without leaving the house. My sister recently decided she no longer wanted to do her current job and said that she'd like to start online like me. She asked me how she could get started, what she needed to learn, and what a good resource would be for her to begin. And I was just kind of lost for words. Truth be told, there isn't a really great resource out there for people just getting started. Truth be told, there is a huge amount of misunderstanding regarding what internet marketing is, what it's capable of, and how you should get started with it. This is why you see so many businesses get it entirely wrong. Have you ever visited a business site only to see that it looks completely unprofessional and cluttered? Have you ever visited a brand's social media page to see that it hasn't been updated in months? Or that what is there is just uninspired and unlikely to convince anyone to buy from them? A lot of small businesses will recognize the power of the web to bring them money and customers, but they won't have any clue how to begin. Thus, they will often end up just hiring the first SEO, search engine optimization company they can find, and hoping blindly that the company will maintain its side of the bargain and actually help them get to the top of Google. Sometimes that happens. Other times, the company uses outdated, spammy techniques and the business goes bust. Either that, or the company does nothing much and the small business just wastes a lot of money. But how is a company to know whether their SEO agency is doing a good job when they don't really understand how SEO works? This training then is Ad Resource. This is a training that can take you from zero knowledge regarding the economy of the web, SEO, internet marketing, all that stuff, and bring you up to speed. You'll learn the technical skills to build a brand, promote it online, and create a marketing campaign. You'll also learn additional skills that can take you to the next level. Skills like design, website development, and videography. And you'll learn how to leverage all those skills, how to harness them, and how to use that to accomplish all kinds of amazing things. Yes, small business owners will gain the skills they need to be able to build their businesses online. But likewise, you can also take these skills and go freelance. You'll be able to make money on the side, or as a full-time career, by selling your newfound internet marketing skills. Or if you prefer, you can take those skills to create your own blog or YouTube channel. Then you can promote a cause that matters to you. You can become internet famous as a comedian or musician, or you can make a living writing about something that fascinates you. Either way, you'll learn the raw skills, and you'll be able to devise a marketing strategy that takes all of them into account with perfect synergy. The web can do incredible things for you. You just need to know how to work it. So let's figure that out together, shall we? The economy of the web. So, assuming you're a complete greenhorn at this point, you might be wondering how precisely money gets generated online. Where does it all come from? Why is it profitable to run a website that is free for anyone to read? The answer is advertising. If you create a website and place adverts on it, then you will get paid by the advertisers, depending on how many people see your website on a given day. The simplest way to explain this to someone unfamiliar with internet marketing is to say that it is the precise same business model as the one used by free magazines handed out at your local subway stop. These magazines don't cost anything to read, but because so many eyes are on them, the publishers can charge advertisers large amounts to show their ads. You can do precisely the same thing by having a website with a large amount of traffic. There are several different ways in which advertising can make you money as a web publisher. PPC. This is pay-per-click, and popular examples include the likes of Google AdSense. You can also get CPM, which means cost per impression. PPC pays out when someone clicks on one of your ads, and CPM pays out each time an advert loads on your site. You sign up to the ad network, get given some code, place it on your site, and start earning. Banner ads. Banner ads are much more straightforward. These are agreed with the advertiser on a per-month basis, and you'll simply get paid a fee by that advertiser each month that the ads are displayed. Affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a big aspect of internet marketing, and it's actually one of the principal ways that money gets made online. Here, you get paid commission if someone buys a product that you recommend. So let's say you're a big blogger who writes about fitness. You might then recommend a certain protein shake, and each time someone buys that shake using the link you're provided with, which is how they know you sent them, you will earn 30% of that sale. The more persuasive you are, the more visitors you have on your site, the more you can earn. There are various other variations on this theme. In white label dropshipping, for instance, you sell a product that you brand as your own, but each time a sale is made, a manufacturer will do the work and send out the item while taking a cut of the money. Sponsorship. These days, sponsorship is more and more of a big deal on the web. If you can build a website with thousands of viewers or a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers, then that will make you a thought leader. Now, brands will want to associate themselves with your brand, and so they might pay for you to give them a shout-out or even just to wear their clothing. This is how your general blog will make money online. But of course, there are many different types of businesses that run and thrive online. That's because these days you can sell pretty much anything online. Often then, your business will simply sell a product or service. If you are a law firm, then you make money through your website every time someone calls up and secures your services. If you have an e-commerce shop selling CDs, then you make money each time someone buys a CD. And these days, more and more creators also sell digital products. So a digital product is simply a product that isn't physical. So this isn't a car or an ornament, but rather it is an ebook or an online course. The advantage here is that anyone can make a digital product. Often it is just a PDF. What you are really selling in this case is the knowledge. Likewise, a company can sell digital services, which means they'll be selling article writing, web design, search engine optimization. In other words, they'll be selling things that the other sites can use in order to be more successful selling their products. Whatever the business model of the website, social media channel, or YouTube channel, the constant truth is that more traffic equals more money. The more people view your site, the more advertisers will want to work with you. The more you'll be able to sell products for commission, and the more you'll be able to sell your own products or services. That said, there's one thing that is actually more important than traffic, and that is engagement. In other words, do the people who come to your site go there because you have advertising everywhere? Or do they go there because they love your brand, and they're curious to know what you're going to write about next? It's the true fans that are likely to buy your products and to follow your recommendations. They are the ones you want on your site. The balance of power. In each of these different business models, the balance of power is slightly different. Your aim is to ensure that the balance is in your favor as often as possible. So, for example, if you are making money from PPC, where do you think you are in the ladder? You're right at the bottom. Somewhere at the end of this long chain, someone is making a purchase. AdSense means that an advertiser is paying Google for each visitor, and Google is then giving you a percentage of that money. So not only do you have Google as a middleman, but you are also losing a customer, normally for only a few cents. That customer is then heading over to another website, where they are making the other company more money. You know that on average, each customer is worth more to the advertiser than they are to you. Otherwise, the advertiser wouldn't have the money to pay for your adverts. It wouldn't be profitable. So, you should think long and hard before covering your website and ads and calling it a day. If you go direct to an advertiser and get paid per month for a display ad, then you'll be a little higher up the ladder, because you'll be making money directly from the advertiser without anyone taking a cut in between. Better yet is to be an affiliate marketer. Affiliate marketers often make very large cuts of the overall profit, and in the case of digital products, this can sometimes be as much as 70% or even 90%. The product owners don't mind giving away so much profit because they wouldn't have made the money themselves anyway. This is in addition to what they're already making from their own sales. And the more commission they give away, the more sellers they attract to help them sell units. But you're still giving away some of the profit, and you're still not in control of the brand. Moreover, you are still sending someone away from your website in order to make that cash. And this is why it's better yet to have your own product whenever possible. And if you're a business that sells an actual physical product or a useful service, then you will still be in the strongest position possible. Then again, there's nothing to stop you from having multiple different revenue streams on a single website. You can run a blog that makes money from AdSense, also has a paid banner at the top of the page, also recommends affiliate products in the body of the blog post, and also sells an ebook. And why not offer a consulting program on top of that? Either way, this is what makes the web go round. Well, that, Google, and content. An introduction to SEO. So now you know how money is made online, and how you can get rich from a website that doesn't sell anything. More to the point, you know why you need traffic and eyes on your brand in order to be able to generate that money. And how do you get eyes on your brand? The number one option for most sites and businesses is to use Google. Google is by far the largest site engine, and most of us use Google to look up anything we want to know or use. Want to buy a hat? Then you'll probably search Buy Hats online. Want to find out the best exercises for getting great abs? Then you'll probably search for best ways to get great abs. Search engine optimization is all about making sure that your site is the one that comes up first or near the top when someone performs a relevant search like this. That way, people who are looking for your products or your content will find your site. This is still probably the most effective way to bring new visitors to your site and to increase your brand's visibility. But how do you get to that point? A brief history of SEO. To get your site to the top of Google, you need to get inside the mind of Google. That means cracking Google's algorithm and understanding how it indexes and ranks websites. There was a time that this was all very simple. Essentially, Google maintains a huge database of websites and keeps information regarding their subject matter, their quality, etc. When you search Google, it consults this database in order to present you with the most relevant responses. Google builds this database using spiders or bots. These are programs that trawl the web in order to scrape content and add it to the index. To find new pages, these bots will follow links on pages that are already in the index. Google decides which content is a good match or not, at least partly by looking for exact phrase matches. So, if you search for the term buy hats online and there's a website in its database that uses this phrase several times, it will consider it a match. It also considers quality, and one of the biggest indicators of this quality is the inward bound link. The reasoning behind this is that if a website has linked to your website, then it must approve of your website. This looks like a testimony of sorts, and so the more links that point to your site, the more important and high quality it is thought to be. And back when Google first launched, this was pretty much the only thing you needed to know about SEO. To get to the top of Google, you just needed lots of content that would use the same keywords over and over again. And you needed to get lots and lots of links pointing to your site, ideally from relevant sources. So, if you wanted to build a website about making money online, you would start by researching keywords. That would mean using Google's keyword tool in order to see which queries related to your topic were the most popular among users. In other words, which phrases get searched for the most. Let's say you then pick Make Money Online. From there, you then start adding new articles to your website, each containing the phrase Make Money Online a few times per paragraph. And on top of that, you then write content to submit to other websites, perhaps some content farms like eZine articles back in the day. Content farms are sites that let anyone add new content to their pages. This means that you could write 100 articles a month on how to make money online and ensure that each one included a link back to your website, using the anchor text Make Money Online. And with time, these practices would be enough to ensure that you got to the top of Google. But that was then. SEO is much more complex, and in many ways, it has evolved to the point of being something completely different. So, let's examine what it involves now, shall we? A penguin, a panda, a pigeon, and a pirate walk into a bar. Google was once simple, and the web was like the Wild West. Whoever drew fastest would ultimately emerge victorious. But there was an obvious problem with this, because it meant that anyone could get to the top of Google without there being any real necessity to create a high-quality website. You could write the lowest quality content in misspelled broken English, and you could cover it in spammy ads. But as long as you had lots of keywords and lots of links, you'd still come out on top in the results. That meant that people who used Google would end up getting burned because they'd click on low-quality results. And if that carried on, Google would risk losing customers. If every time you searched Google, you found websites that were trying to steal your credit card information, you would probably eventually stop trusting Google. It got so bad that people even started using article spinners. These were tools designed to copy other people's content, replace all the words with synonyms, and then publish it. The result was an unreadable jumbled mess, but it was enough to crack the system. Remember, Google is just like any other website owner. Their customer is the advertiser, and therefore the visitor. They have no loyalty to the website owners, and they are under no obligation to ensure that you keep getting traffic. So, Google evolved. Google changed its algorithms to become more sensitive and smarter. Now, if Google detects attempts to game the system, it can penalize content that was designed to trick Google, and that wasn't offering any quality in return, and it could ensure that only the best quality got to the top. Google's algorithms rolled out, each with a different name, and each of which would shake up the market in a huge way. For example, all Google's updates and what they mean for a good SEO strategy. Panda. Panda was the first big algorithm update to launch, and this was designed to penalize all those sites that had plagiarized their content, that had used spam, or that had used keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is when you try to get Google to rank your site for a certain keyword and you go way overboard in inserting the keyword into your text to the point where it becomes unreadable. Welcome to this Buy Hats Online website. Looking to buy hats online? Buy hats online here. It sounds funny, but people were really doing this. All those sites that were guilty of so brazenly manipulating Google's algorithms were punished, sent right down to the bottom of the SERPs, search engine results pages. This actually destroyed some businesses, and many people were very angry at Google as a result. But in Google's defense, it had always told site owners to write for the user and not to write for Google. Penguin. Penguin targeted spammy techniques focused around links. All those sites that had created hundreds of thousands of links on low-quality sites were penalized. Fortunately, Google also presented a links disavow tool that site owners could use to disassociate themselves with low-quality links. Google emphasized the importance of quality links over quantities of links. In other words, if you get a link from the BBC, then it will be worth infinitely more than 1,000 links from e-zine articles, simply because anyone can get links from e-zine articles, and a link from the BBC is a genuinely impressive testimony. The best way to think of this now is as a game of degrees of separation. Certain sites have much more clout than others. A site with an edu domain or a gov will have a lot of authority and trust to begin with. Likewise, sites that come up in Google's news section also must carry a lot of influence. If you can get a link from one of those sites, then this could change your fortunes overnight. But failing that, you can try getting a link from a site that has a link from one of those sites. Failing that, get a link from a site that has a link from a site that has a link from a site that has lots of authority and trust. In other words, get as close to the most influential brands in your niche as possible to reap the major rewards. Pirate. Pirate focused on stolen content and copyright breaches. About time, too. In 2017, another update called Fred reinforced this by penalizing sites that were violating Google's webmaster guidelines. Affected sites were typically low-quality sites designed purely to bring in ad revenue. Pigeon. Pigeon is all about local search, and it basically makes the location that the search is being carried out in even more important. That's why one of the best strategies for a new SEO campaign today is to start local. Start by targeting Buy Hats Online Santa Monica, and only then branch out into other areas and more global searches. Another update in 2016 called Possum doubled down on this, with queries performed closer to a business being more likely to bring that business up as a result. Mobile. The mobile friendliness update was designed to make webmasters create sites that would be optimized for mobile. This meant they should load quickly, use a responsive design that would change shape depending on the size of the screen, use touch-friendly navigation elements. Speed optimizations became especially important, in fact, and this is something that Google is really pushing for right at the moment. It wants to ensure that users have the best possible experience from start to finish. So, if your site is filled with unnecessary plugins that just slow things down, then you should remove them. Google actually offers a site speed test and a mobile friendliness test, both of which can be run very easily through the browser. Test both these on your site to ensure that your page meets the new requirements, and you can avoid being penalized for not catering to what is now a significantly large portion of the overall audience. AMP. Another thing to look into if you really want to get into Google's good books is AMP. This stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages, and is a new initiative from Google that is designed to encourage creators to create a second, highly mobilized, super quick version of their site. This is possible to achieve through a single plugin if you use WordPress, and once that is in place, your site will be able to appear at the top of the other search results with an image from your site and an AMP logo to encourage more users to click it. RankBrain. RankBrain was introduced in 2015 to help Google better match the intent of a query rather than looking for precise keyword matches. It is not so much an algorithm change as it is a specific tool that Google uses and that relies on machine learning in order to properly understand the content of websites and the precise meaning of search terms. Between this and Panda, keywords became far less straightforward. They're still important, yes, but now so too is using synonyms for those keywords, natural language surrounding the keyword, and using the exact key phrases subtly. Today, the most common advice is to use keywords with a density of around 1 to 2%. That means 1 or 2 keywords for every 1 to 200 words. I personally recommend going even less. Meanwhile, the use of synonyms and related language is what's known as latent semantic indexing. It's also important to think about the placement of your keywords. A keyword used in the first few sentences, in the header, in the footer, etc., all carry more weight than a typical keyword used anywhere else in the copy. RankBrain is constantly evolving, using huge amounts of data to better understand what users respond well to. And that doesn't just mean keyword use. It also means that you need to offer deeper, more meaningful content. The recommendation among many creators is to aim for content that is anything from 800 to 2,000 words long. This should include links out to other useful sites to act as references. I highly recommend linking out to research and studies if you are writing a scientific piece. And it should include images and charts and bullet points. RankBrain also brings even tighter focus onto UX, user experience. Using its machine learning chops, RankBrain can look around your site as though it were a real person, and it can decide what makes for a good experience and what makes for a bad one. So even if you have great content, RankBrain will penalize you if your site is poorly laid out, or if that content doesn't use a nice readable font with big headers. The new SEO, and everything you need to know to succeed. With all these changes, the face of Google was completely rewritten and altered. The latest version of Google's algorithm is called Hummingbird, but this in fact incorporates all of the above algorithm updates, machine learning tools, and more to form a cohesive whole. Moreover, Hummingbird is different from previous Google algorithm updates because it has the ability to grow, adapt, and evolve on the fly. Now that means that Google can update its index from day to day and change the way it looks at our sites. And that means that anytime we crack the code, it can change again. It means we can't settle into a rhythm thinking that we've figured out how to do SEO because it will change again. So instead, all we can do is to understand what it is that Google wants and to ensure that our goals are aligned with Google's. And what does Google want? As I said earlier in this training, it wants to serve the user. It wants people to find the content that they are looking for. It wants that content to be high quality. And it wants them to have a good experience with it. Because that way, they will have a good experience with Google. And that way, they'll be much more likely to come back for more in the future. So your aim, difficult though it might be, is to try and forget about Google on the whole. You should keep keywords in the back of your mind. Every now and then, try to target a topic that is being searched for but isn't highly competitive. Occasionally, give your headings catchy names. But do not write your content with the main aim of impressing Google. Aim to deliver the best possible experience for your audience. Associate with only the highest quality brands that have a similar ethos and message. Write content that is comprehensive, original, and interesting. Build links on high-quality sites and not in droves. In fact, this is the most important tip for good SEO. Engage in guest posting. Write a post for a high-quality site and offer to swap that for a link back to your page. Use influencer marketing. Collaborate with other creators in your niche. And research the backlinks of your favorite sites so that you can see how they got to where they are. Try to make your content natural, and try to make your links natural. Write content so good that people want to look to it. Optimize, speed up, and improve your website at every opportunity. As long as your site is genuinely good, if it is the best at doing what it does, then your goals are aligned with Google. And that means that every future algorithm update should be more likely to benefit your brand rather than penalize it. It should help you rank higher, not lower. Google's vision of the future. The other thing to think about is Google's vision for the future. This way we can preempt the nature of any future updates and ensure our sites will hold strong. So what does Google's future look like? Well, we know that Google now considers itself to be an AI-first company. We can see this when we look at the kinds of products and services it is prioritizing. Google Search on mobile has evolved to become Google Assistant. Google now wants you to be able to talk naturally to your voice assistant, and for it to answer you with relevant information it has pulled from the web. This explains the importance of RankBrain. People don't search Google Assistant by saying, buy hats online. They search Google Assistant by saying, hey Google, where can I buy some hats? This means that Google now needs to understand not only the words you say to it, but also the meaning behind those words. So, avoid the temptation of focus on distinct keywords and move more towards answering questions, providing services, and filling niches that you see in the market. Remember, Google will only get smarter. So, if things like beautiful, well-composed images don't matter yet, then they will soon. And if Google is only so-so at checking grammar at the moment, it will get better. Read the Associated Press guidelines. Learn how to write using the inverted pyramid style. And seeing as Google Assistant will occasionally bring up a website to show the user on their phone, make sure that your site is well suited to being quickly loaded on a mobile device. You should definitely look into using AMP formatting for your websites if you want to get more traffic to the mobile version of your site. As mentioned, this can be done easily through a single plugin. At the very least, make sure your site is speed optimized to make sure that it is mobile responsive and has an easy UI for touch input. Avoid hover over menus and the like. You should also make sure that you are using Google's markup language for rich snippets. I'll lead you to research the specifics of how this works, but it basically means you're adding some additional HTML code to your site to tell spiders and robots what certain features of your content are. For example, if you are going to provide a recipe with ingredients, then you can use the markup language in order to highlight those ingredients. This is what allows Google to highlight this kind of information, along with review scores and the times of concerts and events. You'll see all this highlighted right on the SERPs, Search Engine Results pages, anytime that you do a search. And of course, this is very important for Google's Assistant's ability to answer you in natural English when you say, what time is a concert tomorrow?